Alright, today we're going to be covering emulation. We will probably do a PS2, GameCube, and maybe an Xbox emulator as well. So the first place I would typically start would be MU Paradise. Quite recently, probably a few years ago, they seem to have removed basically all the actual game files for legal reasons. However, they do have the emulators here. So we will go ahead and start up with the PS2 emulator. We got your choice of Linux, Mac OS, Source, which probably don't want Source, and then Windows, which we will be using today. And as you see here for Windows, it looks like we only have one emulator, so we will go ahead and download that. Alright, if that's not working for you, as you see here, I had to open up the link in a new window by right-clicking the link, and then go ahead and refresh it once that window opens. Not sure why I had to install it like that. Go ahead, say yes. As far as I know, there's no viruses within any of these emulators, but of course, it's not my program, so go ahead and download it at your own risk. Especially when you are downloading the game files, there's quite a good possibility that you may end up downloading a virus. So just be careful. Going into a later video, we may show how you are able to isolate viruses from your personal data, so you could go ahead and download the program, test it out, and see if you think it's safe or not for your actual computer. Alright, now that we have that open, or downloaded, we'll do PS2 here, or PSX I should say. PCSX, kind of a weird name. First time configuration, go ahead leave that default, next. Settings have been found in the folder because I've already downloaded this before. We will go ahead and do cancel. Or we will go ahead and overwrite them with default values. Alright, we will leave all this alone. If there's nothing there, go ahead, go down and select one of these. You will need to have something there for each one of these. Looks like most of them don't have too many choices. I don't know too much about this, so I would just go ahead and go with the first choice. Select the BIOS ROM. You will need to get a PS2 BIOS to be able to play the games. So how we will do that is, should be a link here, I believe. No, I'm not seeing one. So we will just Google PS2 BIOS. And then you can see here in ROMs Mania, it looks like there's a file. We go ahead and download this, then we will have the BIOS. I guess I'll go ahead and download again. I'm pretty sure I already have the file though. Alright, you see it is a zip file. So we will go ahead and unzip that once it's done downloading. Alright, now that we have got that download, we will unzip it. Something to be cautious about is zipped files often do contain viruses. It's not a guarantee, but the people that make viruses, for whatever reason, they like to put them in there. Alright, so you see it's extracted here. I've got all these settings and files now. So if we go back to our PS2 emulator, go to Open Explorer, Open in Explorer. We will go to Downloads. And actually, I don't think you have to unzip that file, so we'll go ahead and try and use that zipped file. Nope, you do. Okay. I'm just gonna go to the first bin here, I guess. No, that's not. I messed up. Alright, so we go back here to our PS2 emulator. We uncheck the use default setting because we don't have any BIOS in there in the first place. So we will go to our downloads where we have unzipped that file. We will select the folder. Now that we have selected that folder, you see that there's some choices for us here. I do live in the USA, so I'm just going to go ahead and click the USA option. I'm not sure how big of a difference that really makes. Then you will go over here to the config, just check everything out. You don't really need to touch any of this. Here's the frame limiter. When you press the tab button, that enables turbo mode on this, and it speeds the game up quite a bit. You can change the settings here. If you are going to be using your mouse for playing, you might want to disable this. You get into a fighting game and start clicking, then the screen starts toggling from full screen mode to windowed mode. Gets kind of annoying. Here in the speed hacks, I've found that this multi-threaded micro VU1 actually works quite well, so we will go ahead and enable that. Everything else here, I basically just left alone. Click apply, then click OK. Your controllers, you will need to set that up. I recommend by default be on Windows messaging. If you start going to like raw input and direct input, I was having issues getting my mouse to work with it selected on those. I would also keep both of these unchecked. Basically, it looks like just leave the default settings here. Depending if you want to hide your mouse in game, typically I do, then you can go ahead and click always hide mouse cursor and that will do that. If you go over to save bindings, you can save what you currently have. New game controls.lily, and then you can go ahead and load up that file. It will reload all these settings. It will also load not only these settings, but the controller settings as well. If you go over here, you can see it's already detected our last one. I believe this is when I was playing Godzilla. So basically what you do is you just click one of these buttons, square, triangle, cross, circle, whatever button you want to set, and then you click the button on the keyboard or on your mouse. So if we go ahead and click square, then I click P, should be set to P. Did it set it? Yes, it did. Okay, right here. So you can see that that is set. By default, I don't believe that it lets you set multiple keys. So you might want to go to this advanced area, allow binding multiple PS2 controls to one PC control. So that way you can have, say, two shoot buttons instead of just one. Alright, so we will go ahead and apply this, click OK, say we're happy with that. Now that we are happy with all of our settings, we got our BIOS loaded, we got the game settings configured, as well as the controller settings. we go ahead and head over to our ISO selector, and then we would head over to a game. You can go ahead and find games on lots of different websites. Basically, we'll just go ahead and do something like Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, ISO, or PS2 ISO. And then you see here there's a download from CD Romance, Cool ROM, ROM Hustler, ROMs Forever. So you would just go ahead and select one of these and download it. They don't work every time. Sometimes they're just fake downloads. Again, it could possibly be a virus. I would make sure that it's just a ISO file to help keep it a little safer. Not sure if they can embed viruses in ISO files or not. Anyways, we have already downloaded quite a few games, so what I will do here is pop in my temporary drive that has them, because my gaming drive happens to be pretty full. So I threw these on a separate one. Head over to emulation, go over to PS2, go over to games, and you can see here I have quite a bit of ISO games. With our Godzilla, we did get an MDS file. I'm assuming that's okay. Didn't look too suspicious to me. But if you get like a .exe file, executable file, I would not run that. That's probably like some kind of virus. So we go back to our ISO selector. We go to this PC. Go to my local disk I just put in. PS2 games. And since we already have the settings loaded, why don't we go ahead and play Godzilla Saves the Earth. Once you have selected the ISO, go ahead and do boot CDVD full. You don't want to do the fast mode, I don't think. I've heard there was some bugs with the fast mode. That's starting up. It's hit our cursor. This is a little bit annoying. What I do is I select this PCSX2 window and then go ahead and click the full window button. You know what? I just noticed that's playing on the wrong audio here. We will go ahead and switch that audio over. If you do switch the audio, it's not going to automatically detect it. You will need to open the audio plugin settings and simply close the window. Now it's detecting our audio. Go ahead and press start. We'll go ahead and play one quick match here. No profiles, that's not good. I think I might have erased all my shit. What's the select button? Oh. Go over to end. There we go. Yeah, I think when I uninstalled this, I might have uninstalled all my game files, but you know what? It is what it is. Give me more time to play on my PS2.
Greetings, pathetic earthlings. I am your Tisha, queen
Trying to skip this if possible.
Your scientists have unlocked the secrets of Godzilla's
can't skip
DNA
it.
and have encapsulated its incredible power in the form of G-cells. I must have these G-cells in order to create the ultimate monster.
Give me the
My
G-cells.
pretties. Find the G-cells and bring them to me.
G-cells.
Destroy everything in your path if that's what it takes.
I mean, really, if you look at what they were using at the time with the PS2, these animations are pretty damn good.
Godzilla 2000
Oh shit.
versus Anguirus.
Got the high definition Godzilla.
Monsters, fight!
So as you can see here, everything is working nicely. Damn, some savage fire right there. I feel like they really made the Godzilla character pretty OP. That playing with the Gigon guy, he's got like swords for arms, and he is not doing so well. Whereas Godzilla, I'm like full health, I'm not even really trying. Well, anyways, you get the point. It is working. What we can do to go ahead and exit the game real quickly here is press the escape key. And when we press the escape key, that does not actually close the game. So if we go ahead, go back to the system, click resume, we're back in the game. Kind of just pauses it, really. Alright, so that is the PS2 emulator. For the most part, all these emulators are basically the same thing. But for reference, we will go ahead and download one or two more. So let's see. Go over to all emulators. Gonna go ahead and search GameCube. Nintendo GameCube. Windows. And there's three of them here. What I myself use would be Dolphin. Dolphin is a GameCube emulator. It is also a Wii emulator. We'll go ahead and click download Dolphin 5. Download button's not working again, so we will open this in a new window and then click refresh. And it is downloading. Go ahead and open this once it's done downloading. Let's go ahead and start downloading the Xbox One as well, why don't we? Just say yes to all that. Instead of the Xbox One, why don't we do something else here? Or how big the PSP games are. Finish the Dolphin Wizard. I don't think it's going to open by itself, so let's go ahead and open up Dolphin. You see we now have the app for it. I like the Dolphin interface as you can go to the config here. And it's just, it's really easy, really nice. You got your CPU engine. Go ahead, click whatever settings you want. I basically kept most things default because it runs really well anyways. What I did edit over here, you may want to set up the slot A and slot B cards. I'm not sure what this is. So I'm just gonna leave that nothing. System language. The Wii, I don't necessarily use the Wii, so if you go ahead here, add a GameCube path, that will just display the games you have. So for me, I would go over to this secondary drive I have, go over to GameCube ROMs, and select the folder. As you see here, the chosen directory is already in the list, so we can't add it again. And once you add that, you go ahead and click the OK button. It will refresh and all your games will pop up here. Hopefully with the pictures, but not all of them have pictures. And I did not change that either. I basically just added the path and edited the controller. We'll go ahead and take a look at the graphics. Yeah, again, I didn't really change any of this. Maybe if you did, it would possibly run better, but it was running just fine for me on the default settings with this. So you can go here, and for your port 1, you're probably going to want a standard controller. If you're using GameCube, maybe you might want, or not GameCube, but Wii, you might want to add some kind of Wii here. Yeah, GameCube adapter for Wii U, got a steering wheel, dance mat, Jesus, a dance mat. DK bongos, I remember that, that's pretty cool. Bongos as a controller. GBA controller or keyboard. So I typically use in GameCube games, just use the standard controller here. And you can go ahead and edit all the buttons. You just simply press, click the button, press Q, and boom, it's set to Q. We're going to go ahead and cancel that because I like my controls the way they are. And so when you go ahead and set all of that up, you can go ahead head to one of your games. A great game is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. I used to play this as a kid, and it was one of my favorite games. Jesus, even today in 2021, it's probably still one of my favorite games. This is quite a bit easier than the other one as far as toggling the full screen, and it kind of just works a lot better than the PS2 emulator, if I'm being honest. I have not looked too much into it, but I have not had much success with using my mouse on this GameCube emulator. I know there is another option. If you say have a PS4 controller, then you can go ahead and download this app and use that to link your PS4 controller to your computer. We will probably go ahead and do a video of that as well eventually, but currently I do not have a PS4 controller on me, so we will not do that yet. Well, I would say load game, but I think I might have erased all my data before the video. Oh no, I got it, cool. You can see I'm at rock bottom, 28% completed. God, I should have more completed than that. And we are sliding. So as you can see here, this is a fully functional game as far as I know. More so on the PS2, you'll get some glitches, like when I'm playing GTA San Andreas, then sometimes the cutscenes won't load and they'll freeze the game. A lot of times you can get around that with the cutscenes. You just skip them, don't watch it, and then you can keep on playing. As far as the GameCube goes, typically the games just work. They don't really lag too much. So I'd say the GameCube is probably a better choice for most people. If you have a really good computer though, then you should be able to do pretty good on the PS2 as well. I was trying the PS3, and the PS3 was not doing very good. I was having a hard time running it. So yeah, you can see here that it is a fully functional game. So we will go ahead and exit this. Now we have RetroArch. We will go ahead and open that up. I have a feeling that we might have to unzip this. We'll go ahead and try and open it up. See if we're able to do that. Yeah, it's extracting. Probably should have unzipped it. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and cancel that. If you guys want us to explore that emulator or any other emulators, just let us know in the comments below. More or less, it's basically the same thing for all the emulators, just replace the name with the device name, you know? So like you see here, Tenchi Wrath of Heaven, PS2 ISO, then we go and do SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, and then we do GameCube, and I think technically it's probably a ROM or ISO, but I mean either way, search ROM, boom, there it is. If you search ISO, boom, there it is. So basically just search the game name, then the device GameCube, and then ISO or ROM at the end, and it should pop up. We for legal reasons, we obviously do not condone piracy. What you can do is you can download and dump these games off the old devices. At the moment, I currently don't know how to dump the games, but if you guys would like, we can take a deeper look into that and do a tutorial on it. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try and help you figure it out.